पुत्रा वयं शृण्वन्तु अमृतस्य पुत्रा वयं शृण्वन्तु।
ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः। ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः। ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः. My prostrations at the lotus feet of our most beloved Guru, our Amma, and my namaskaram to all of you. Welcome to the 5th session in this weekend series of Amma's Ashtottara Shatanamavali. Not Ashtottaram, which is a short form, which is okay, but actually Amma's Ashtottara Shatanamavali. By the time we end this web series, I hope all of you will remember this. Wonderful. So, without much delay, let's go directly into the mantras. We saw this mantra earlier. I'm not going to go into the details of it, just pronouncing it once and then moving on to the next mantra. This mantra was Om Sajatiya Vijatiya Swiya Bheda Nirakrite Namah. We saw this in detail in the previous session. Then we also saw this 11th mantra, which was Vani Buddhi Vimragyayai Namah. Om Vani Buddhi Vimragyayai Namah. And I told you to be careful about how you pronounce the E and I. This is a Dhirga E, which is a bigger one, longer one. That's why you have a horizontal bar here, and here you have just I. So Buddhi, Vani, Buddhi, Vimragyayai. And this has to be pronounced as Vimragyayai, Mragyayai. Okay, not Mrugyayai, Mragyayai. And then we also saw this mantra, Om Shashvadavyakta Vartmane Namah. Very important couple of points. Here, the second Sha does not have an A after this in the IAST notation. And in Devanagari script, you will see it's half. So the second Sha has to be just a touch of it. So Shashvadavyakta. And then here, just a touch of Ta sound, because it's only T. There is no A after that. So Vartmane, Vartmane. Om Shashvadavyakta Vartmane Namah. That was the mantra number 12. Now we will start with mantra number 13 today. So this mantra is to be pronounced as Om Nama. Now this is where North Indians especially need to be careful, because in Hindi you will not read this as Nama. You will read this as Nam. You see how there is a sudden cut at the sound, the last letter, Nam in Hindi. But in Sanskrit, it is not Nam, it is Nama. That is why you see an A here after the M. N-A with a horizontal bar, because it's a longer one. Na, Nama. So there is a A after M also. So Nama. Nāma-rūpādi, Rūpādi. So U is little longer, and then Ikara is Hraswam. You cut short. Nāma-rūpādi. Both U and A have a horizontal bar. So Rūpādi. Nāma-rūpādi-śūnyāyai. Na is half. N has no A after it. So śūnyāyai. Don't say śūnya-yai. It is not śūnya-yai. There is no full na. There is no A after N. So you have to pronounce it as śūnyāyai. Nāma-rūpādi-śūnyāyai. Okay. And then Namah. Namah, the last one. Okay. Let's listen to it once with the Shruti box. I have always told you, I usually keep the Shruti too, so that both male and female can match to it. If I keep too low, then males won't be able to match. If I keep too high, females won't be able to match. So listen to it 3 times.
Om nāma-rūpādi-śūnyāyai namaḥ. Om nāma-rūpādi-śūnyāyai namaḥ. Om nāma-rūpādi-śūnyāyai namaḥ.
Great. Now coming to its meaning. So the meaning, I told in the last class also, the meanings which I have taken are from the printed booklets. And I have just taken it directly from there. And with all due respects, I'm not trying to criticize or finding mistakes in these meanings. But in case I feel that there is a better meaning, or I feel there is a small change in meaning which would be better considered, I will share it with you, and then it's up to you to take whatever meaning you like. These meanings are not wrong, which have been published, but Sanskrit is a very rich language, and sometimes based on the context and based on the derivation of the meanings, sometimes the final outcome of the meaning could be slightly different, and multiple meanings are also possible. So what I'm sharing with you sometimes, if it is different from the meaning which has been given, it is an alternative meaning which you can take. So don't think what has been given in the booklet is wrong. The one I am giving you is an alternative meaning. And you can either take both, or you can take whichever you feel is better. It's up to you. You can take both, you can take either one of them which you feel is better. So in this mantra, the meaning which is given in the text is, in English, salutations to her who is devoid of name and form. नाम-रूप-आदि से रहित अम्मा को नमस्कार. Here it says, नाम-रूप-आदि से रहित अम्मा को नमस्कार. In Hindi. Now the meaning is very clear. I'm not going to go philosophically too much into it, but at least at a surface level, what it means is that salutations to Amma who is devoid of name and form. Now here devoid has been literally translated in Hindi as rahit. Rahit means without. Devoid. So it has to be understood properly. Now what it means is that Amma should not be considered as only limited to a name and form. Amma is beyond name and form. That would have probably been a little more clearer meaning if it was written like that. But that is an alternative meaning also. You can take it as salutations to Amma who is beyond name and form, or who is not limited to name and form, or one who does not give importance to name and form, much importance to name and form. All these meanings are equally correct. Somebody asked me this, that we see Amma, she has a name and a form. So if mantra is saying that Amma does not have a form, what does it mean? Or a name? And also the dhyana shlokam of this whole Ashtottara Shatanamavali starts with Dhyayamo dhavala vagunthanavatim tejo mayim naishtikim. So it is describing Amma, a form of Amma, who's resplendent, the white orb, dhavala vagunthanavatim, wearing a white dress or whatever. So a form is being described. And then if mantra says devoid of name and form, how do we understand this? So this is how you have to be understanding is. One is understand it as beyond name and form. Second is understand it as not limited to name and form. So hope that is clear. And in case when you pronounce this mantra, if you are still committing that mistake of naam, why, like Hindi people, North Indian people do, try to Be attentive there. It's not nāma-rūpādi, it is nāma. Nāma-rūpādi-śūnyāyai namaḥ. Salutations to Amma, who's devoid of name and form or beyond name and form, who's not limited to name and form. नाम रूप आदि से रहित अम्मा को नमस्कार, नाम रूप आदि से परे अम्मा को नमस्कार, नाम रूप आदि तक जो सीमित नहीं है उस अम्मा को नमस्कार. All these meanings can be taken. We'll move on to the next mantra now. Mantra number 14. Let's go one by one. Om śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ. In IAST, Om Shunya. You see the forward slash on top of S. Shunya. Shunya. Kalpa. Kalpa. Vibhūtaye. Vibhūtaye namaḥ. Namaḥ. Okay. Om Shunya Kalpa Vibhūtaye namaḥ. Now again, here you have to be little careful, especially the North Indians. They usually pronounce it as kalp, kalp, not kalpa. They say kalp. Don't cut short there. Okay, you have to say kalpa. So Om Shunya Kalpa Vibhūtaye namaḥ. We'll play it 3 times.
Om śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ. Om śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ. Om śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ.
Now notice this word Shunya. This is the same word which came in the previous mantra also. Same word. And you see here, based on the context, the meaning has changed to no importance. No importance. No importance. So again, keep in mind, Sanskrit words change meanings according to the context. Okay. So the first word here, Shunya, has to be understood as no importance. So next word, which is kalpa. Kalpa again has multiple meanings. But here, it has to be actually understood in conjunction with the next word, which is vibhuti. Vibhuti. And the Chaturthi Vibhakti, the 4th declension, the Sampradana Karaka of this is Vibhūtaye. The word is Vibhuti, which becomes Vibhūtaye. I have explained this earlier in the previous sessions. If you have not watched those sessions, please watch those recordings. I have given 2-3 times, I have given examples of it. So the actual word is Vibhuti, and that becomes Vibhūtaye. Right? So if we have to understand the meaning of kalpa in this context, we have to understand the meaning of both kalpa vibhuti. What kalpa vibhuti means is whatever you can say superhuman powers or yogic powers Amma has. Kalpa vibhuti means whatever she is capable of. Another meaning is whatever you ask for or whatever is needed by a devotee. There is a legendary tree in Puranas, Kalpa-vriksha. Kalpa-vriksha is a tree which can give you whatever you want. It's a mythological tree which can give you whatever you want. So similarly, Kalpa Vibhūtaye is all powers, whatever yogic powers you can say, or whatever superhuman powers an avatar has, that. So in Puranas, it is usually Bhagavan has certain vibhutis. Certain vibhutis. Bhagavan has always, in every avatar, Bhagavan has certain vibhutis. And multiple vibhutis are there. I won't go into the details because it will take too much time. Like, for example, Laghima, Mahima, Anima, Prakyam, Prakamyam. So all these are different. So one is, for example, the ability to become small, the ability to become huge, the ability to become very light. So all these different supernatural or superhuman powers, you can say. So Bhagavan has all of them, all different vibhutis. If you look at it from the yogic perspective, if you look at it from the perspective of Bhagavad Gita, in the 10th chapter, Bhagavan Krishna, Lord Krishna talks about various vibhutis, various vibhutis of Lord Krishna. And then he talks about, I am the sun among all the luminous objects. I am the moon amongst all the stars in the dark sky. Right? And he gives so many different examples. Among the rishis, I am sage Bhrigu. And among the animals, I am lion. Among the birds, I am Garuda. Basically, what he means, the essence of whatever he's telling in that 10th chapter is, wherever you see magnificence, wherever you see excellence, where you would see something amazing, the best, you know that those are Bhagavan's vibhutis, Ishvara's vibhutis. Okay? In Sanatana Dharma, Ishvara can be Nirguna and Saguna, both. Saguna means with attributes, Nirguna means without attributes. I won't go into the details, but I think you will get an idea at least. So, Saguna Bhagavan has vibhutis, certain powers. Otherwise, Bhagavan cannot be, it will be just like any of the ordinary being, right? Śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ. So now what it means, the whole mantra here means salutations to Amma, who does not give any such importance to all those great powers she has. उस अम्मा को नमस्कार है जो अपनी इन विभूतियां जितनी भी हैं, महिमा, लघिमा, अनिमा, प्राकाम्यम, जितनी भी हैं, इन सब विभूतियों को, इन सब शक्तियों को जो भी उस अवतार के पास हैं, जैसे अम्मा ने अवतार लिया है, तो अम्मा के पास जितनी भी ये शक्ति है, उनको ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देती है अम्मा, उनको ज्यादा महत्व नहीं देती है, उनके लिए वो शून्य के बराबर है. Normally what happens, any human being, if he has some good talent or something that is better than others, they will try to show off. आमतौर पे जो लोग होते हैं, वो छोटी भी उनमें कोई अच्छाई होती है दूसरों के तुलना में, तो वो उसको बहुत बड़ा चढ़ा के बोलते हैं. बट अम्मा इज कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट. शी डजंट गिव एट ऑल एनी इंपॉर्टेंस टू हर एबिलिटीज, टू हर ग्रेट पावर्स. अम्मा पूरा उल्टा है. अम्मा अपनी शक्तियों को, अपनी विभूतियों को बिल्कुल भी महत्व नहीं देती हैं. इसलिए आप देखते हैं अम्मा इतने सालों से, इतने वर्षों से, इतने घंटे बैठ के बिना खाए पिए जो दर्शन दे रही हैं, वो भी एक बहुत बड़ी विभूति है. देखने के लिए आंखें चाहिए. बहुत बड़ा एक सुपर ह्यूमन फीट है वो. सबके लिए संभव नहीं है वो, लेकिन अम्मा बहुत साधारण रूप से, सहज रूप से वो कर रही हैं. If we look at Amma, how she is able to give darshan for such long hours without eating, sleeping much, without drinking much, and she has been doing it for so many years. Even that is a great yogic power, you can say, in itself, a great vibhuti. But Amma doesn't do any show off. And if you tell Amma, you are something amazing, or you're something great, or you did something so wonderful, what does Amma say? Amma says, I didn't do anything, my children did it. Amma यही कहती है ना, मैंने कुछ नहीं किया, मैं कुछ नहीं हूं, वो तो मेरे बच्चे अच्छे हैं, मुझे अम्मा को अच्छे बच्चे मिल गए, बच्चे सब कर रहे हैं. That is the greatness of a Mahatma. That is the greatness of Amma. शून्य-कल्प-विभूतये नमः. आमतौर पे लोग इतना बढ़ा चढ़ा के अपनी अच्छाइयों को बोलते हैं और अम्मा बिल्कुल उसको इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं देती, अपनी अच्छाइयों को, अपनी शक्तियों को. अम्मा doesn't give any importance to her own good qualities or her powers. She just says, my children are good. That's all. That's the greatness of the Mahatma. So that is what this mantra means. Om Śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ. Now next mantra, Om ṣaḍaiśvarya. ṣaḍaiśvarya. Pronounce this clearly and correctly. This part especially. This part where you see D with a dot below. ṣaḍaiśvarya. ṣaḍaiśvarya. Don't say ṣaḍaiśvarya. It's not ṣaḍaiśvarya. You see two prongs here. Two are going there. No, it's not single. So don't say ṣaḍaiśvarya. It is ṣaḍaiśvarya. ṣaḍaiśvarya. Okay. So Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai. Samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai. A has a horizontal bar. So samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Okay, hope it is clear. And remember this S with a dot and this S with a forward slash. I told you the difference couple of times. I'll tell you once more. The first one, S with a dot below, has to be pronounced as sh, sh. Okay, so you have to retroflex. Your tongue has to be slightly twisted upwards and touching where you have the ridge after the hard palate, but before the teeth. You have a ridge there. So you have to kind of twist your tongue upwards and touch there. Sh. The other sh, which is this one with the forward slash and this one here before the va, this you have to kind of keep it straight towards the teeth. Okay. Sh, sh. The first one is sh, sh. So the way you will pronounce it is, pay attention, ṣaḍaiśvarya, ṣaḍaiśvarya. When you go faster, ṣaḍaiśvarya. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Okay. Hope it is clear. And also pay attention, especially the Westerners who are looking at the IAST notation. This has neither a dot below, the S here, neither has a dot below nor a forward slash. So this has to be pronounced as sa, sa, samudrāyai, samudrāyai. So Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Hope that is clear. Now we will listen to the recording with the Shruti 3 times.
Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ.
Okay, now let's come to the meaning. So what is the meaning here? Salutations to her who has the auspicious marks of the 6 godly qualities. This is the English meaning which is in the printed text. Salutations to her who has the auspicious marks of the 6 godly qualities. In Hindi, the meaning is little more elaborate, which is good. In Hindi, it says Aishwarya, Virya, Kirti. There is a mistake the way they have written Kirti, but actually the last ikara is not dirgha, it is hrasva. It is shorter one. So Aishwarya, Virya, Kirti, Shri, Jnana, Vairagya. In Hindi, they say Gyan. So I am just pronouncing it like the Hindi speakers do. Aishwarya, Virya, Kirti, Shri, Gyan. But that is not how you pronounce in Sanskritam. वैराग्य आदि 6 प्रकार की विभूतियों के सागर स्वरूप अम्मा को नमस्कार। ऐश्वर्य, वीर्य, कीर्ति, श्री, ज्ञान, वैराग्य आदि 6 प्रकार की विभूतियों के सागर स्वरूप अम्मा को नमस्कार। Okay. Now relate this to the previous mantra which we just did, śūnya-kalpa-vibhūtaye namaḥ. So I talked about vibhutis there. Now these 6, Aishwarya, Virya, Kirti, Shri, Jnana and Vairagya, this can also be taken to be the vibhutis. Because again, Puranas define Bhagavan. Bhagavan comes from the dhatu bhag. The root word is bhag. Bhag. And 6 forms of bhag, or 6 forms of powers, or 6 forms of Aishwarya. It has 6 meanings. One is Aishwarya, which is opulence. Aishwarya means opulence or affluence. Virya. Virya can mean memory. Virya can mean power. Kirti. Kirti means fame. Kirti is also another word is Yasha. Kirti or Yasha means fame. Shri. Shri means auspiciousness, beauty. Then Jnana. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge. And Vairagya means discrimination or dispassion. These are the also 6 godly qualities where you have the maximum of these. You have the opulence, affluence, Aishwarya. You have the memory as well as the power. Now remember, here memory does not mean like a normal, ordinary human memory. Here memory means from the beginning of creation till the end of creation. That is why Krishna tells to Arjuna that you don't remember, but I remember all the previous births and this and that. So that kind of all-knowingness. Don't consider it like a normal memory, like people who go to memory Olympiads and memory champions. Not like that. Here, memory has to be understood as all-knowing nature. All-knowing nature. Sarvajñata. So, third one is Kirti, Yasha. Yasha means fame. Where you see a lot of fame. You see a lot of Shri. Shri is auspiciousness, beauty. Gyan, where you see a lot of knowledge. Limitless knowledge. Vairagya, and also dispassion, discrimination. Dispassion to the maximum, to the core. So these are also can be considered as vibhuti. And this can also be here in this context, it is Aishwarya. ṣaḍaiśvarya. So the first in this is a compound word which I showed you earlier. ṣaḍaiśvarya. ṣaḍaiśvarya is a compound word. So it is made with 2, Shad and Aishwarya. If you see the first part, the Shad part, here, the first part. So this means 6. 6. Shada means 6. And then Aishwarya adds to it, so it becomes ṣaḍaiśvarya. And Samudra means ocean. Okay, so that meaning somehow has not been captured in the English meaning for some reason, but that meaning should have been captured, I think. So they have missed it in English, but in Hindi it is written. In Hindi it says very clearly, Sagar Swarup Amma ko namaskar. So basically the meaning is that namaskar or salutations to Amma, who has the 6 godly qualities and who is the ocean of 6 godly qualities. By saying ocean, it means it is a metaphor to say limitless. It is not normal Aishwarya, Virya, Kirti, Shri, Jnana and Vairagya. It is limitless. That is why Samudra, that metaphor has been added. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Who is limitless, who has limitless opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and dispassion. Okay. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. We'll listen to it 3 more times.
Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ.
And this is what I was telling you earlier, just for your clarification. So this is how this word is formed. ṣaḍaiśvarya is formed with the combination of shad. Okay, shad. You have to break it. You see a backslash here. Shad, not shada. Shad. Aishwarya. This is Aishwarya. And when it combines together, it becomes ṣaḍaiśvarya. ṣaḍaiśvarya. Okay. Hope it is clear now. Om ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai namaḥ. Now let's go to the next one. Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. With the IIST notation, Om, look at the horizontal bar, you have to elongate it. Dūrīkṛta, because R has a dot below. Okay, krita. S has a dot below. So that means retroflex. You have to twist your tongue slightly up. ṣaḍūrmaye. Don't say ṣaḍūrmaye. It is not ṣaḍūrmaye. Don't keep your tongue straight. Okay, twist it slightly up. It will be ṣaḍūrmaye. So it becomes Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. Let's listen to it 3 times with the Shruti.
Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ.
Very, very beautiful. All these mantras are actually, I told you earlier also, each mantra is so meditative. If you go deeper into the meanings of it, it is very, very, it takes us very close to the real Guru, real Amma. And it also brings us closer to our own self. So here the meaning in English is salutations to her who is devoid of 6 modifications of life. It's not a very good translation, but it's okay. You get the meaning, at least you get a gist of it. Who is devoid of the 6 modifications of life: birth, existence, growth, change or evolution, degeneration, and destruction. Okay. And then in the Hindi, you see a slightly different meaning. Shudha, pipasa, lobh, moh, शीता उष्ण. शरीर के इन 6 उर्मियों से परे अम्मा को नमस्कार. क्षुधा, पिपासा, लोभ, मोह, शीत, उष्ण. शरीर के इन 6 उर्मियों से परे अम्मा को नमस्कार. Now, actually here, both meanings have slight, I feel could have been slightly better. So I'll give you alternative meanings to these. First of all, I think in the English, what they have written, the Hindi is not a word-to-word translation, not at all actually the same. In English, the 6 things which are being spoken about are not actually traditionally referred to as ṣaḍūrmaye. The word is Shadurmi, which becomes Shadurmaye. Shadurmi becomes Shadurmaye. So again, you can split that word into two. Shad, which means 6, Urmi. Urmi. Urmi, basically the meaning is waves. Or you can say changes or waves, right? Now, what are the 6 kind of waves a human being experiences on day-to-day basis? So the meaning which is given here in Hindi is much more appropriate, in my opinion, where it is talking about Kshuddha, Pipasa, Lobha, Moha, Shita, Ushna, which means hunger and thirst. Okay. Then greed and delusion. And then heat and cold. This is we experience on a daily basis. Heat, cold, and its variants. When I say heat, cold, and its variants. Greed, delusion, and its variants. Hunger, thirst, and its variants. That is a style in Sanskrit mantras and shlokas. We refer to one and rest you have to understand. So all the variants of it. So these 6 urmis, namaskar to that Amma who's beyond all this. Now in English, what they have given is birth, existence, growth. That is not Shad Urmi traditionally. That is something else. We will speak about that later if we get time. I don't want to go into the details of it now. But usually that is not traditionally referred to as Shad Urmi. Those are 6 modifications. That is something different. So I prefer the meaning which is given in Hindi, which is more appropriate, I feel. But again, don't take me as a as the final authority on this, because Sanskrit is it's a ocean. So whatever best I feel, I'm sharing it with you, and you can find more about it if you feel interested, or you can ask somebody else whom you feel is much more knowledgeable. So according to me, I think that meaning is much more better. The 6 urmis in which it is written in Hindi. And that is why, sometimes we say Bhavasagar, that word for this worldly existence. Why we say Bhavasagar, ocean? Because ocean has waves, and these are the 6 kind of waves we face on a day-to-day basis. So 2 of them are at the level of the body. So that means all bodily limitations we have. When we say Shita, Ushna, it does not only mean heat and cold. It means all the bodily limitations we have. Shita, Ushna is we feel with our skin, right? We feel either heat or the cold with our body at the body level. Shita, Ushna. Shita actually means cold. Ushna means heat. So we feel that. And we suffer because of that. Because when it's too cold, we want to keep our body heated up. If it is too hot, we want to keep our body cool. And then we have to put efforts in order to be able to do that, right? So it's a limitation. Then the next limitation is Kshuddha and Pipasa, the thirst and the hunger. Literally, Shuddha means hunger. Pipasa means thirst. So again, this is a you can say limitation, because if we don't eat or don't drink, then we suffer. So we are dependent on something. We are not independent of it. And if we don't get it, we suffer. So there is a limitation again at the level of prana. This is at the level of prana. When we feel hungry, it is not just at the level of body. Your skin or your bones are not feeling hungry. The prana shakti, it is at the level of prana that we feel thirsty or we feel hungry. So what it means that all the limitations at the pranic level, that is the final meaning. And then lobha moha. Lobha means greed, moha means delusion, which is felt at a mental level. Heat and cold was at the body level. Hunger and thirst was at the level of the prana. And then prana, I hope many of you know, I won't go again, I don't have time to go into details, but prana is the vital force with which we breathe, with which our blood circulates, with which we do our excretory processes. Prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. These 5 kind of pranas are there. So all the limitations at the level of prana are depicted by Shuddha Pipasa. And then the limitations at the level of the mind, or the sufferings that we experience at the level of the mind, like lobha and moha, greed and delusion, all these are referred or pointed to here by this word, or this duo, lobha moha, right? So these are the mental delusions, mental greed. Everything else, it is variants. When I say variants, it means like kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mad, matsarya. These are all variations, variants of it. Kama, desire; krodha, anger; mad, matsarya. All this, these are all variations of it. तो इन 6 ऊर्मियों से, ये जो सागर की जैसे लहरें होती हैं, वैसे ही भवसागर में, इस संसार में, इन 6 ऊर्मियों से हम त्रस्त रहते हैं. हमेशा ऊपर नीचे जीवन इनकी वजह से ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है. जकड़े हुए हैं इनमें. ठंडी और गर्मी, शीत उष्ण, क्षुधा पिपासा, भूख और प्यास, लोभ मोह, वो तो आप समझ ही गए होंगे, लोभ और मोह के कारण भी. तो शरीर के तल पे, जैसे शीत उष्ण का जो ये 2 शब्द हैं, ये उसी की ओर इंगित कर रहे हैं कि शरीर के लेवल पे, शरीर के स्तर पर जितनी भी हमारी कमियां हैं, जितनी भी हमारी लिमिटेशंस हैं, जितनी भी सीमाएं हैं शरीर के स्तर पे, वो सब इस 2 शब्दों से इंगित होती हैं, शीत और उष्ण. क्षुधा और पिपासा से क्या इंगित होता है? जो भी प्राण के स्तर पर हमारी सीमाएं हैं, प्राणिक स्तर पर, प्राण, अपान, समान, व्यान, उदान, इन 5 प्राणों के स्तर पे. और लोभ मोह उन सीमाओं को इंगित करता है जो मन के स्तर पर है, जिनसे हम त्रस्त रहते हैं, जैसे लोभ, मोह, काम, क्रोध इत्यादि. तो उस अम्मा को नमस्कार है जो इन सब ऊर्मियों से दूर हैं, परे हैं, जिनके पास ये ऊर्मियां आ भी नहीं सकती. सो नमस्कार टू दैट अम्मा who is not at all affected by these 6 tossings of life. Rather than modifications is not the right word. That's why I said in English the translation is not very appropriate, I feel. 6 tossings, like waves toss the ship. So these 6 tossings of life, Amma is far from that. Amma is not at all affected by that. Amma is beyond that. Dūrīkṛta. Dūri means far. dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. Amma is far from that. Amma is not affected by any of that. Let's listen to it once more.
Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ.
Great. Next move. Okay. I should tell you this also, just for your information. ṣaḍūrmaye, I told you earlier, this is formed with the 2 words shad and urmi. And this urmi then becomes urmaye. This I told you earlier also. This is that the change in the declension or the form, right? And this happens, don't think this happens only in Sanskritam. It happens in many other languages, many European languages, but in Sanskritam, it has many more variations, many more forms. Like in English, you will usually see only 2 to 3 declensions, or 4 sometimes. But in Sanskritam, you will see 7 of them. And not just that, it changes by the gender also. And not just that, it changes by number also. So in English, usually there is only singular and plural. But in Sanskritam, there is singular, plural, and then there's a third one called dual for two people. So then there are many more variations, but it's there in English also. For example, if there's a word like beauty, one declension or one variation of it will be beautify, which is not same as beauty. Beautify means when you trying to bring in beauty into something. Beautify. It's more like a verb, right? Beauty is not a verb, but beautify is a verb. And then there is a word beautiful, which is an adjective. Adjective is different. And then there is beautifully, which is an adverb, right? So you see 3-4 different variations. These can be considered as declensions. So similarly in Sanskritam, these are called vibhaktis, declensions. So this is the fourth vibhakti, which we usually use in these mantras, which I have earlier also explained. Whenever we are offering namaskar, we do that. Use the fourth declension. So urmi, the fourth declension is urmaye. So when shad and urmaye combine together, it becomes ṣaḍaiśvarya-samudrāyai. 6 urmis. And we already saw what those 6 urmis are and how Amma is beyond that. Om dūrīkṛta-ṣaḍūrmaye namaḥ. Okay. Next one. Om nitya prabuddha samshuddha nirmuktātma prabhāmuche namaḥ. Om nitya prabuddha. See, here you have to give more stress on this. Prabuddha. That's why you have 2 D's. 2 D's here. Prabuddha. Then samshuddha. 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 Again 2 D's here. Nirmuktātma. 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 Prabhāmuche. Prabhāmuche. Namaḥ. Namaḥ. Okay. Now, just a word of caution here. Many people sometimes wrongly pronounce this word by cutting short the last makara. They say nirmuktātam. Nirmuktātam. It is not nirmuktātam. It is nirmuktātma. 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 Prabhāmuche namaḥ. Om nitya prabuddha samshuddha nirmuktātma prabhāmuche namaḥ. Let's listen to it 3 times.
Om nitya prabuddha samshuddha nirmuktātma prabhāmuche namaḥ. Om nitya prabuddha samshuddha nirmuktātma prabhāmuche namaḥ. Om nitya prabuddha samshuddha nirmuktātma prabhāmuche namaḥ.
Okay. Now, before we go into the meaning of this mantra, let me quickly show you how these words are formed quickly. See, there are 4 basic words in this. Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta. Okay. The first one, the Nitya, doesn't undergo any change. It remains like that. That's why this word is just like that in the actual mantra also. जो मंत्र है उसमें इस शब्द में कोई भी बदलाव नहीं हो रहा है, लेकिन इन तीनों में बदलाव हो रहा है. वो कैसे? What is the change? The word Shuddha combines with a prefix called sam, and it becomes samshuddha, samshuddha. It combines with the prefix upasarga, sam, and becomes samshuddha, samshuddha. The word Buddha combines with a prefix pra. This prefix is pra, and Buddha, it becomes prabuddha, prabuddha. And then the third word, mukta, it combines with the upasarga nir, and combines with the word mukta to give us nirmukta. Nir and mukta combine to give nirmukta. So these, I have told you earlier also, these we have roughly about 22. We have 22 upasargas, 22 prefixes. And these prefixes change the meaning of the words. Sometimes the meaning can be completely opposite. And sometimes the meaning can be enhanced from its original meaning. So it just depends. It just depends what kind of prefix and what is the context. Everything is very, very important, right? So here, Shuddha actually means pure. But when it becomes Samshuddha, it becomes completely pure, absolutely pure. Not even 1% mixture, 100% pure. Not like what you have on the today's commodities like ghee and honey. They say 100% pure, but it's full of impurities. Here it is really, really pure, Samshuddha. And Buddha, when it becomes Prabuddha by the prefix pra, the meaning changes slightly. It means very, or it denotes adhikyam, it denotes excessiveness, it denotes greatness. Buddha, you will usually refer to a person who's very learned, very like a pandit. But Prabuddha means very, very well learned. There cannot be better than that. Prabuddha. Prakarshena. That adhikyam, that excessiveness. Amazingly knowledgeable. That is denoted by Prabuddha. And then Mukta. Mukta is usually meaning free. So Nirmukta, when we add that upsarga, it means completely free. Completely free. Out of it completely. There's absolutely no trace of dependence or no trace of, you can say, non-freedom, if there is a word like that. Right? Absolutely free. So these three words have to be understood like that. So the English meaning which is in the text written is salutations to her who's emanating the light of the self, which is eternal, conscious, pure and free. Salutations to Amma, who's emanating the light of self, which is eternal, conscious, pure and free. And in Hindi, it says Nitya Shuddha Buddha Yukta Atma Prakash ko Vikirna Karti Amma ko Namaskar. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Yukta Atma Prakash ko Vikirna Karti Amma ko Namaskar. And I feel, in my humble opinion, I think both of these meanings are not 100% accurate, not really giving the feel of what probably the writer would have meant. Respected Oturi Unni Krishna Namboodiripad-ji, who wrote these 108 mantras. I think meaning could be an alternative meaning which could be considered is, again, I'm just giving alternatives. I'm not saying these meanings are wrong. My alternative meaning would be salutations to Amma, who is emanating the light of a enlightened being who is eternally pure, knowledgeable and free. In Hindi, notice they have completely omitted the upasargas. Only Nitya they have written Nitya like that, but Samshuddha, instead of Samshuddha they have written Shuddha. Instead of Prabuddha they have written Buddha. And instead of Nirmukta they have written Yukta, which is completely different word. It's not even same. So I think Hindi meaning here is much more off. And then both English and Hindi, they are more talking about the nature of self, which is, of course, when we describe in Upanishads, when we are talking about Atman or the Brahman or the self, we say Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta. That's a very beautiful definition. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta. That is told in context of the Brahman, the self. And that self all of us are. Right? But here when you add an upasarga, like prabuddha, when you add that upasarga, that is usually used in the context of a deity or a person or an avatar. It is not usually used in the context of Atman or the self. Usually. So prabuddha, when we say prabuddha, samshuddha, nirmuktatma, so then we are talking about the Amma, because this whole mantra, practice of mantra, ucharana of mantra, this whole practice as a spiritual practice is an upasana. Traditionally, it is called upasana. And upasana is always done on a form. We are doing that bhavana, that Amma is right in front of us. The Dhyana Shlokam starts like that. Dhavalava gunthanavatim, tejo mayim nashti, describing different attributes. So, in this context, it is referring to more of the saguna attributes of Amma. Nitya prabuddha samshuddha nirmuktatma. Of course, Amma is not different from the self. We know that. But here, it is more talking about Amma, who is eternally full of knowledge. Prabuddha, samshuddha, eternally pure. Nirmukta, completely free, absolutely free. No bondages. Nirmuktatma prabha muche nama. And here, Atma can be taken as mind also. Atma can be taken as Amma herself also. Prabha muche nama. Prabha is light. Prabha is light. Prabha is light. And muche means, in this context, muche means that which radiates or emanates the light. That which radiates or emanates the light. So, salutations to Amma, which emanates the light of her own. And what is her own? Her attributes? Eternally knowledgeable, eternally pure, eternally free. Right? So, in that way, if you then bring in self, it is still understandable. But directly talking about the self kind of makes it little bit on the side of nirguna. For those who are interested in nirguna upasana and who can take it that way also, this meaning is absolutely okay. When you're talking about nirguna upasana, then taking it to be as attributes of self, perfectly okay. But if we are taking it as a saguna upasana with attributes, then these attributes can be taken or related more to Amma rather than to the attribute-less self. More to the Amma which we see, which we interact with, that Amma. Both meanings again are alternatives and both are okay. But in Hindi, this not taking the prefixes, I think they should have considered those prefixes also and not removed those prefixes of, instead of Buddha, they should have taken the Prabuddha itself. But for some reason, maybe some omissions have happened. But those meanings are also okay in the context of self. Right? Hope that is clear. Okay, so this is the last mantra for the day. Om kāruṇyākula, Om kāruṇyākula-cittāye namaḥ. Om kāruṇyākula-cittāye namaḥ. Om kāruṇyākula-cittāye namaḥ. Okay, so here the na here is half. Kāruṇyākula-cittāye namaḥ. Karunya. See the dot below the N. So don't say karunya. It's not karunya. Karunya. Again, it's a retroflex. You have to twist your tongue upwards. Touch it near the ridge. Kāruṇyākula-cittāye namaḥ. Okay. And it is the word Kāruṇyākula is composed of two words. Kārunya and Akula. Kārunya and Akula. When you combine both of them, Kārunya and Akula becomes Kāruṇyākula. Kāruṇyākula-cittāye namaḥ. Let's listen to it 3 times.
ॐ कारुण्याकुलचित्तायै नमः ॐ कारुण्याकुलचित्तायै नमः ॐ कारुण्याकुलचित्तायै नमः.
Great. So in the English text, the meaning which is given is salutations to her who is full of mercy. Salutations to her who is full of mercy. I personally don't think that word of mercy is appropriate here, because mercy probably is not the right translation of karunya. The better translation would be compassion. Salutations to her, or salutations to Amma who is full of compassion. There is a difference between compassion and mercy. Mercy is, when you're taking kind of pity on somebody. You're taking pity on somebody. But compassion is not like that. Compassion is when you see yourself in the other person. You don't think other person is any lesser than you. There is no pity there. So the better meaning would be salutations to Amma who is full of compassion. In Hindi, it is written karuna se vyakul hriday yukta Amma ko namaskar. उस अम्मा को नमस्कार है जिनका हृदय करुणा से व्याकुल है, which is okay, because in Hindi and Sanskrit that word itself is different. Daya is different, karuna is different. Daya can be translated as mercy, but karuna or karunya is better translated as compassion. तो जब करुणा की बात होती है तो हम दूसरे व्यक्ति को अपने से अलग नहीं देखते, हम उसमें स्वयं को ही देखते हैं, उसमें ईश्वर को देखते हैं. जब दया की बात होती है तो दूसरा व्यक्ति एक किस्म से थोड़ा उसको हम नीचे देखते हैं, दया करो उस पे. यहां दया की बात नहीं हो रही, यहां करुणा की बात हो रही है. अम्मा किसी पे दया नहीं करती है, क्योंकि अम्मा के लिए सब एक ही है, सब एक ही आत्मा है. और तभी अम्मा, मैं बार बार कहता हूं, अम्मा कहती है ना, प्रेम स्वरूपी आत्म स्वरूपी सभी को मेरा नमस्कार. अम्मा के लिए सिर्फ वही है, अम्मा सब में स्वयं को ही देखती है. तो इसीलिए अम्मा के लिए कंपैशन इज द राइट वर्ड, करुणा. ठीक है, इसको सुन लेते हैं 3 बार.
ॐ कारुण्याकुलचित्तायै नमः ॐ कारुण्याकुलचित्तायै नमः ॐ कारुण्याकुलचित्तायै नमः.
Great. So we have finished 18 mantras. Okay. So hope so far you have understood, and now we will be picking up the speed.
Swamiji, we have just one question. Shall we go ahead with that?
Yes, please.
Thank you for your response. One humble request, please do not repeat that in Sanskrit ending the ha. The way you demonstrate is the right one. Thank you. I don't know who he is asking not to repeat, but
Okay. So
that's
namaḥ is the right pronunciation. Namaḥ.
Namaḥ.
Namaḥ. In music, when you are accompanying it with the music, or when we are, for example, we are chanting Guru Stotram or something, we might say namaḥ, because then the meter is more important rather than the pronunciation of the Sanskritam. So in those contexts, when bhavana is intense or the music is in the context, we can leave. Again, I'm not trying to, point out the mistake or anything, but generally I have seen that North Indians have certain problems in the pronunciation. South Indians also have this problem in the pronunciation, especially when it comes to visarga, that sound. They say aha. Now, one probable reason why it has become like that is probably because, when teachers have to teach it, unless and until you stress more on it, you can't hear that. So if you just say namaḥ, maybe the listener will not listen to it very clearly. So that is why they added a little more stress on it, namaḥ. But it is only for those classes to understand it. But when you start pronouncing it, actually when you start using it, it is better pronounced as namaḥ. Don't think if you say namaḥ while chanting, you are committing a sin or it's a great blunder. And we don't have to make fun of anybody, or we don't have to point out mistakes. This is the right pronunciation. Now it's up to you, whichever pronunciation you want to go with, and whichever you feel is better.
that comes to the end of our question and answer session, Swamiji. It was a wonderful session. So this has been our 5th day today, and for the past 4 sessions, Swamiji has been very patiently telling us what should be the bhava of one who's invoking Amma. What should be, how should one interpret the mantras, the meaning, the deeper meaning behind it. And personally, for me, it has been a big change. When I chant Amma's Ashtotri, the deeper meaning, the bhava, all plays part, and we can see that Amma's grace flowing. Really nice. I hope that Amma fills us, eternally in our conscience, so that it oozes out of us, so that whoever we meet, we are able to be good ambassadors of Amma.
Yes.
And that was a really nice session.
Namaskar.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste. Namaste.
तस्य पुत्रा वयं शृण्वन्तु